All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. We're diving into Odoo Documents today.
That's right.
We've had a ton of people ask about this one, so,
Yeah, lots of questions about this one.
it seems like something that people are, ready to get their heads around. And hopefully today we can help unpack it all.
Absolutely, and figure out how it can help.
Yeah, what it is, why you should care, and how it can maybe even, like, revolutionize the way you handle all your, documents.
Yeah.
I mean, does anyone actually like dealing with paper anymore? I feel like we're all kind of over it.
It's definitely an area ripe for improvement for a lot of people.
Right. Like, remember those days of, like, digging through filing cabinets for that one, one contract or that one invoice? It's like, if...
Oh, yeah. Paper cuts, lost files. It's a nightmare.
Total nightmare. So Odoo Documents is all about going paperless, right? That's the big thing.
Yeah, that's the goal. But it's not just about getting rid of paper. It's about taking document management to a whole new level.
Okay, so more than just, like, scanning everything and calling it a day.
Exactly. It's about connecting your documents to every other aspect of your business.
And that's where the integration with all those other Odoo apps comes in.
Right. You got it. We're talking accounting, sales, project management, CRM, you name it, Odoo. Documents can hook into it.
So it's like this central hub for all your important information.
That's the idea. No more data silos, no more jumping between different systems to find what you need.
I can see how that would be a game changer for a lot of businesses.
Absolutely. It streamlines everything, makes it so much easier to find what you need when you need it.
And I imagine it helps with things like, making sure everyone's working with the most up-to-date version of a document.
Oh, yeah. Version control is built right in. So you can say goodbye to those confusing email chains with, contract V1, contract final, final.
Oh, my gosh. I've been there so many times. It's a nightmare.
Right. With Odoo Documents, everyone is always looking at the same version, the latest version.
Now, speaking of working together, what about collaboration? Like, if you've got a team working on a project, how does Odoo Documents make that easier?
They've got some really cool features for that. One of the big ones is Shared With Me.
Okay, shared with me. What's that all about?
So imagine this. You've got documents shared with you from all over the system, from different projects, different departments.
And they're all just, like, floating around in the ether.
Right. Shared With Me gathers them all up in one place. So you've got this constantly updated list of every document that's been shared with you.
So no more digging through emails or shared drives, trying to find that one file someone sent you weeks ago.
Exactly. It's all right there in Shared With Me.
That's pretty slick. And I imagine it helps keep things organized, too.
Absolutely. No more wondering where that important document went. It's all neatly organized and accessible.
Now, we talked about connecting documents to other Odoo apps. But what about keeping some things separate? Like if you're working on something confidential.
They've got you covered there, too, with My Drive.
My Drive. So that's like your own little personal space within Odoo.
Exactly. Think of it as your own secure workspace within the system. You can store confidential documents, drafts, personal files, anything you need to keep separate from the general company stuff.
So it's like having your own little vault inside Odoo.
Exactly. And you control who has access to it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And speaking of control, let's talk about security. Because, when you're dealing with sensitive information, you want to make sure it's in the right hands.
Absolutely. And Odoo Documents gives you a ton of control over who can see what. You can set different levels of access for each document or folder.
So, like, if you want someone to be able to view a file but not edit it, you can do that.
Exactly. You can also give people permission to just download a file or even set time-limited access.
Wait, time-limited access? So, like, if someone only needs access to a document for a week, you can set it to expire after that.
That's right. No more having to manually revoke access when someone no longer needs it.
Wow, that's incredibly useful. What about working with people outside the company? Like if you need to share documents with clients or contractors.
They thought of that too. Odoo Documents has a dedicated portal for external collaborators.
So clients and contractors can access documents securely without having full access to the Odoo system.
Exactly. You set the permissions for what they can see and do, and it's all done through a secure web interface.
So no more emailing sensitive documents back and forth or using those file sharing services that make you a little nervous.
Exactly. It's all handled securely within Odoo Documents.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. But I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier about making sure everyone's working with the most up-to-date version of a document.
Oh, yeah, that's where the shortcuts feature comes in.
Okay, shortcuts. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So imagine you have a document, let's say a contract, that needs to be accessible to both the sales team and the legal team.
Okay, makes sense.
Now, in the past, you might have just made copies of that contract and put them in different folders.
Right, so each team has their own version.
Exactly. But that can get messy fast. What if the legal team updates the contract? Now you've got multiple versions floating around and no one knows which one is the most current.
Yeah, that sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Right. With shortcuts, you don't make copies. You create references to the original document.
So it's like a link to the master file.
Exactly. So both the sales team and the legal team are accessing the same underlying file. If one team makes changes, everyone sees those changes.
So no more duplicate files, no more confusion about which version is the right one. Everyone's always on the same page.
Exactly. It's all about efficiency and making sure everyone has access to the most up-to-date information.
That's brilliant. I love it. Now, what about those moments when you accidentally delete something? We all make mistakes, you know.
Don't worry, they've got a safety net for that too.
Okay, good, because I'm the queen of accidentally deleting things.
Well, you'll be happy to know that Odoo Documents has a trash section.
Okay, like the recycle bin on your computer?
Exactly. Anything you delete goes into the trash, and it stays there for 30 days.
So you have a month to change your mind and restore something if you need to.
That's right. It's a lifesaver for those oops moments.
And probably helps keep the system clean too, right? Because you're not just permanently deleting things all the time.
Absolutely. It gives you that peace of mind knowing that you can always recover something if you need to.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of really cool features. But I'm curious, from your perspective, what are some of the biggest challenges you see Odoo Documents addressing for businesses?
I think one of the biggest ones is definitely that whole data silo problem. So many businesses are struggling with having information scattered across different systems.
Right, and that can lead to inefficiencies, errors, frustration, all sorts of problems.
Exactly. And Odoo Documents solves that by bringing everything together into one central hub.
So it's like it's breaking down those walls between different departments.
Exactly. And that can make a huge difference in terms of productivity and collaboration.
Absolutely. I also think Odoo Documents is really tackling those security concerns that a lot of businesses have, especially when it comes to sharing sensitive information.
Definitely. The granular permissions, time-limited access, external portal, it's all designed to give businesses more control over their data.
And I think that peace of mind is invaluable in today's world.
Absolutely. You need to know that your data is safe and secure.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Odoo Documents is clearly a powerful tool. But I want to leave our listeners with something to think about. What's one key takeaway that you hope they'll walk away with today?
I think the biggest thing is that Odoo Documents isn't just about going paperless. It's about transforming the way you work with information.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. It's about connecting your documents to your business processes, improving collaboration, and making sure everyone has access to the information they need when they need it.
I think that's a great point to end on. Odoo Documents is really about empowering businesses to do more with their information. So if you're struggling with document management, I think it's definitely worth taking a closer look at what Odoo Documents has to offer.
I agree. It could be a game changer for your business.
All right, everyone. That's it for today's deep dive on Odoo Documents. We'll catch you next time.
See you then.